Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Shanice. I make kind of scary themed type of videos, so if that's something that you're interested in, you can go ahead and check out my other videos. I appreciate all of the support and comments and suggestions that I'm getting from you guys. And I will, if you ask me to react to a video, a particular type of video, I will react to it. I have a suggestion or someone who would like for me to react to their videos. Their name is Horror Stories, so shout out to you. Glanced over a couple of the videos and I noticed that they're short videos, so I will be reacting to at least 3 videos for you. So the first video I am going to be reacting to is called The Birdman by Horror Story. That's their video, so I will have their channel link down in the description below, so you can head over and check out their all of their videos.
I would skip a lot of lectures and go out with my friends instead. One late night I was returning to my apartment after being out with my friends, and I glimpsed up at my apartment window. I saw a weird, inhumane figure just standing up straight just behind my window. Its arms were skinny and long and had a weird beak-like shaped face. It was type of lanky but in a horrifying way. It was just the way it was standing, not breathing at all. Just staring at me. I ran inside my apartment, ready for anything to jump out. Once I reached my door, I went in and looked at my bedroom window that faced outside where the figure was standing. But no one was there. I thought it might have been my hung-up clothes that formed a man, since that happened sometimes, but I was uneasy. Uncomfortable, I tried to go to sleep. I looked at my clock and it was 3 a.m., so I forced my eyes to close. I woke up. I looked at the clock and it was still 3 a.m. At the same time, I tried to go to sleep. But this time, the inhumane figure was standing in front of my window, in front of me, just looking at me, staring at me. It looked like a Birdman.
I'm young, but if I walked into my living room and saw something like that, I would instantly have a heart attack. Like, God, please take me now.
A bird that was standing. It was the most strangest and creepiest thing I ever had saw. It lifted its arm towards me while I tried moving back, paralyzed on my bed. It then pointed its finger at me. That's when I woke up again. The time was still 3 a.m., yet there was no figure of the Birdman in front of me. I felt a huge relief knowing.
So all of that happened at 3 a.m. The time didn't change at all?
It was a dream, but it felt so real. I tried going to sleep again. I'm not sure if it was a dream or not, but I woke up for the 3rd time. The Birdman was in front of me again. He held a sign saying, "I will always be watching you." While doing that, he turned his head 360 degrees and looking straight back at me. For the 4th time, I woke up again, still at 3 a.m. That's when I packed my bags and left. I will never return there again.
4 times
not for
at
school
3.
Or not for college. I just hope that the 4th time I woke up was not a dream.
So video number 2 is called The Dead Hospital Patient.
Before I tell you this horrifying experience that happens to me, I urge you, please, don't do what I do. Don't work like I worked. Just run. So I was working as a security guard, but also checked the tapes at a hospital. I would do this overnight. I would just sit there, staring in tranquility at the screens. The same screens that should have stayed the same. The same screens that didn't. I was looking at the screen which camera was facing the morgue where the dead bodies laid, and suddenly I saw a door open. It couldn't have been the wind because it was one of those doors with a handle. But when it opened, the door handle never moved. I thought that it might have been a glitch or something on the screen, so I went down to check if everything was normal. When I reached to the front door of the morgue, I suddenly felt a warm breeze brush behind my neck.
That's a sign. That's a sign. If you feel any type of breezes or a cold spot in a place that, doesn't have any type of air movement at all, like there's no AC in that area at all, that's a sign. There's something there.
That someone was standing behind me.
That's one of the things I also hate. The feeling that somebody is standing behind me. Like, I get that feeling a couple times if I'm just being paranoid. Like, when I first moved into my place, you know, the new feeling of a new place and you haven't been used to it. So it's like you feel like there's something behind you when there's not. And then eventually the feelings start going away.
I checked back as quick as I could, holding my hand on my gun, which was still on my gun strap. But
That's
no
good.
one
He
was
had a
there.
gun. He was prepared.
When I turned around, the door to the morgue was open. I felt scared, confused, lost all at once, horrified by what I saw. How could the door open? I thought. I suddenly moved into the morgue, cautiously with my hand on my gun, and saw no one here. Just bodies of dead people with sheets covering them as a whole. Suddenly, I heard someone say, "What's happened?"
What you mean
I turned back at the door. It was a girl who was around her early 20s.
No.
I thought she might have been one of the people in the rooms where the patients had been sleeping and God woke up.
I'm
I
not
answered,
looking at this
"Nothing,
screen.
ma'am.
I'm
You can
not.
proceed back to your room. Everything's fine."
I'm gonna have nightmares.
She just stood there, not replying at all. She tilted her head to the sideways, smiled, and walked through the door into the morgue. She walked right up to me.
No.
She sat on the bed where the dead bodies would lay, laid herself down, and covered herself with the sheets. I was horrified watching that.
I would be too.
I didn't say anything. After what was 3 minutes, I said, "Ma'am, please go to your room." I got no reply.
Okay. First of all, it wouldn't have been like no 3 minutes of me waiting after she done got under the sheet. Like, excuse me, ma'am. You know there's bodies around you. If she didn't give me no response, I'm not walking up to her. I'm running out, calling the police. Like, there's this lady who's here. She don't belong here, and she just got under the sheet. And I told her that she need to go, but there's no response. I'm calling somebody. Please come. I'm here by myself.
Opened the sheet. I'm there. She
Still not
was.
staring at this
The
screen.
girl, eyes closed, head tilted, mouth closed, and not breathing at all. She was dead.
Whoa. So basically what you're telling me is that girl that you saw was a ghost of an actual dead girl there? Wow. Okay. All right, so the final video is called "The Creepy Man Standing by the Window."
This happened around 3 months ago when I lived in New York in a quiet neighborhood. But at the time, the most scariest moment had happened to me and ever happened in my life. It was just another normal day Monday where I had to do my normal routine of getting ready for work. I had a company that I was running and I was very busy most of the time, but let's not talk about that. Let's go straight to the part. It was night and I was sleeping when I woke up to a strange tapping happening near my house. I was afraid it was at my window, but I thought it would be some kids trying to annoy me by throwing rocks. This never happened, so I don't know why I assumed that. When I looked out the window, the tapping had stopped. I saw nothing as it was around 2 a.m. The sky was a very dark navy blue. I looked around to see what I could observe, and then my eyes glimpsed the most freakiest thing I ever had saw. In the window in front of me in the next house, I saw...
See, these pictures are creepy. Like, why did you choose the creepiest pictures? Like, I feel like at any moment, something is just going to do a jump scare or, like, pop out. And then you guys are going to see me lose my mind because this video will come to an abrupt end. No outro or anything.
A man standing there. I couldn't figure how he looked as it was too dark to see, and his house also had no light. He was standing there staring at me as I was looking at it with my left eye only poking at the side of the window. I don't know if he saw me, but the way he was standing made...
See, and that's one of my biggest fears, of somebody being outside of my window. Now, I live all the way on the 3rd floor, so if there's ever anybody at my window, there are either one or two things: a really athletic creep, because they had to climb. They had to do some climbing to make it to my window. Or I know that they're not human. They're not of this form. They're not they're a different type of creature. And either one of those, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I want to die immediately because I will lose my mind.
You think he did? All I could see were two white circular eyes staring at my window. Staring at me. I went back to my bed frightened by what I saw and hoped that I was dreaming. In what felt like 30 minutes had passed, I went up to check it.
Try to go back to sleep. If I see something like that, I'm staying up for the rest of my life.
He was still there, but poking merely half of my left eye near the window. I could just see enough to see the window, but he wasn't there. The curtains were shut. At that moment, I felt a big relief and went back to sleep. It was the next morning, and I went to go to my car to go to work, and I looked up the window where the man was standing. The curtains were half opened. I had no clue why, but had no care for it. I hopped in my car and went to work. When I came back, it was around 2 a.m., very late, merely forgetting about what had happened last night at 2 a.m. As I put the keys to my door, I looked up at the house, and there he was, the same man right behind the window. I stood there with my eyes wide and thinking nothing but having the feeling of fear. What felt like 5 minutes of standing and staring, I gained the courage to shout, "What do you want? Huh?
I'm not saying nothing." I am not saying nothing. I'm about to be a freaking, what are those called? Those little black and white people. I'm going to be them. I'm going to be a statue. I'm going to be great at that because I'm not moving because you're going to hear, I don't want you to hear me move a muscle. I'm not saying nothing to you. I'm hoping that you don't see me. I hope you don't feel my presence. I'm just hoping you go away, okay?
Call the police. Shivers went down my spine and every hair on my body stood up as I approached the window. The eyes were still staring at me as I approached, and yet I was literally face to face, but the only obstacle in my way was the glass. Yet I could still not see his face. Suddenly, I heard a loud crash of something breaking and falling down in my house. I turned for a split second, looked back, and the man in the window was gone.
No.
I had no time to think, as I couldn't react, so I went to see what had dropped in search, but found nothing. Nothing was broken. Nothing. There was a note on my bed. It said,
like this black
"I'm
screen.
watching you."
No.
I looked out the window, but the window in front wasn't opened. The blind...
That's something inhuman. Because it was just at the door, and all of a sudden, he hear a crash in his house, and then he go to his room and see a note on his bed, talk about, "I'm watching you." I know you watching me. I see you watching me. I'm watching you. Watch me, okay?
It was shut. The man wasn't there. How I thought. I looked behind me.
To be continued, so I will be checking back for a part 2 because I'm over here already losing my mind and I'm just listening to this. So horror stories, your videos are good. You're in my playground of the type of videos that I like watching, so I will be watching your videos on the regular. So if you can, let me know when you come out with part 2 because I need to see or hear the full story of what happened. Like, I want to know what happened. Like, what was it? Like, was this creature or this manly looking thing, and did he get exorcised or something? I want to know. So horror stories, continue doing what you're doing. I will continue watching. But that's the end of my video, guys. If you're also into those type of videos like how I am, please go check out Horror Stories channel. I will have his link down in the description below. And if you're interested in my type of video, go check out my videos also. So I will catch you guys in my next video. All right, guys.